The temporary ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war has been extended for another day. According to mediator Qatar, the announcement came Thursday morning, minutes before the ceasefire was set to expire. DEIR AL-BALAH. Gaza Strip. Mediators were pushing extend the Israel-Hamas truce, which was set expire after sunrise Friday. The two sides appeared be trying reach an agreement on how proceed with the daily hostage exchange held by Hamas for Palestinians imprisoned by Israel and a week-long break in fighting. Nearly all of those released so far have been women and children. But with so few such hostages remaining in Gaza, agreeing to an extension could be more challenging. Hamas, the militant group that has ruled Gaza for 16 years, is expected to set a higher price for the remaining hostages, especially Israeli soldiers. Qatar and Egypt, which play a key role as mediators, are trying to extend the ceasefire for 2 more days. Israel has vowed to continue its violent offensive aimed at crushing Hamas unless the militants provide a satisfactory list of captives to be released in exchange for an extension. Israel has vowed continue war once the hostages release is over, but it faces growing pressure from its main ally, United States, to do more protect Palestinian civilians. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, who met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other senior officials on Thursday in his 3rd visit to region since the war began 2 months ago, said he hopes ceasefire could be extended and more hostages could be released. Blinken also said that if Israel restarts the war and moves south of Gaza to pursue Hamas, it must do so in accordance with international humanitarian law and have a clear plan to protect civilians. He said Israeli leaders understand that the enormous scale of civilian life and displacement that we saw in the north must not be repeated in the south. International pressure has increased to halt the war for as long as possible. Triggered by Hamas' deadly attack on Israel on October 7, following weeks Israeli ardment and ground operations, thousands Palestinians have been killed and more than 3/4 the population, 2.3 million, displaced in Gaza, leading to a humanitarian crisis. The bulk of Gaza's population is now trapped in the south with no way out, raising questions about how Israel's offensive there could prevent heavy civilian casualties. Late Thursday and into Friday, more Israeli and foreign hostages were exchanged for Palestinians. Hamas handed over the 8 freed hostages to the Red Cross in Gaza, and they were then taken to Israel for medical evaluations and reunification with their families. Among those released were 2 women who were handed over to Gaza City, where Israeli troops have been in control and searching for hostages for weeks. Early Friday, a busload of 30 Palestinian prisoners freed by Israel were welcomed home in the West Bank city of Ramallah. Dozens of men,